Shalom, this is ben-Emmett with the Torah Watchman Show International. Hope everyone's been well. Here's my latest podcast. Top haredi yeshiva in shock after students announce IDF enlistment. Wolfson Yeshiva held an emergency assembly after 3 students, including 2 Kol Torah alumni, declared plans to enlist in the IDF, sparking sharp rebuke from the dean. Now, what are we talking about? Everyone knows, especially if you're Jewish, Israel has been in a war with Hamas for going on nearly 3 years now. War in Iran, war against Hezbollah in Lebanon, and the Houthis in Yemen. There's only so much of us to go around. And if you're living in the land of Israel, you should be blessed of all people upon any nation in the world. If you're in Israel and you're a Jew, you should be blessed to be in the land of our prophets and our ancestors. But just living in the land these days comes many sacrifices. So much of our brethren have died. I don't have to mention October 7th, how many people died there. And how many soldiers, nearly 1,000 soldiers altogether, lost their lives in defense of their country. Now here you have haredi yeshiva, the dean or the head rabbi in there, admonishing students there for their love of Zionism and their love for the IDF and their love for saving their countrymen from all the adversaries and all the enemies that the Jewish people have. Just look at the preponderance of evidence around you. Just look at it, folks. Let's understand 2 things. First of all, there's a law in Israel that if you're not a registered student on a continual basis, you will be drafted into the military because we're in a time of war. But even so, if you are a student, you're still required by law to register for the draft. This is not unusual in America. The land I love, the land I'm in right now, before I moved my family about 6 years to Ashdod, Israel. Long story, not going there. But the draft is not something unusual. Almost every country in the world has a draft or a minimal registration service about 3 years. So number 1, it's a law of the land that every single person of fighting age, you read the Torah about what's fighting age, okay? But anyone of that fighting age, a teenager, someone who's left their parents or going to school or whatever, job or whatever, a young person, especially if they're not married, are required to register for the draft. Number 2, many rabbis, their excuse or the reason for their admonishments against the military, the IDF, and encouraging and telling their students, even rabbis in Lithuania, that dynasty there, rabbis over there, said it's a horrible, horrible sin to join the IDF. And they encourage all the students to protest again and break the law in Israel. But number 2, what is a yeshiva? Well, people said, that's crazy, ben-Emmett. Why are you saying that? Yeshiva is a place of studying Jewish law and the Torah and etc., etc. Folks, rabbis claim that every single man is responsible and held to a highest standard by God to learn the Torah day and night as a primary task for them, and not to be in the military, and not to go to secular colleges, and not to participate in secular things that, the human part of us loves. That's why we have Shabbat. We disconnect and divorce ourselves from the secular things for the more holy and supernal things, as rabbis say, only for Shabbat. What I'm trying to say is, even King David, he fought in many wars. Just read it. Read the book of Tehillim, the book of Psalms, and read 1 Kings. Read how King David fought many wars. But he read and wrote the Jewish Bible throughout his entire bloody conflict. I mean, he went through probably the most severe crisis any human being could go through. His own 2 sons committed mutiny against his kingdom. his best friend in general, committed treachery against him. But he still had time to read the Bible, read the Torah, and write other great books like the book of Psalms. That's the basis of every prayer. So this is mockery against the Torah, folks. For these rabbis that call themselves rabbis and call themselves men of God, to totally reject the government in a time of war that we need everyone to fight for their country, or you will not have any country. Peace at any cost would lead to the next Holocaust, folks. And you know that. Do I hear an old man back there? I hope I hear that. These rabbis should be demolished. And God bless the heroes, these students who are standing up to that legalistic establishment there, that are misconstruing and misinterpreting the Torah, what it says and what it isn't. Folks, in yeshiva, they don't study the Torah as most of us do. They don't read the Chumash. They read information about the Torah. That's called metadata, folks. That's called the Talmud. What is the Talmud, of course? That is comprised of about 2,000 scribes and rabbis over a period of time, but primarily in the Middle Ages, arguing and debating and disputing the mitzvahs in the Torah, the laws of Moses, and adding and subtracting to it that something is totally forbidden. So next time a rabbi tells you, you are not allowed to go on the IDF, you're supposed to study Torah, you need to challenge that rabbi and says, okay, please tell me, rabbi, respectfully, where is the yeshiva I can go and just read from the Torah scroll and nothing else? When we all say, Amen, God bless you, Shalom Aleichem.
If you've enjoyed this program, please click like and subscribe.